now we are talking about sleep in detail. The quality of sleep is very important, and the few things that I'm going to say right now depends on the quality of sleep. Sukha and Dukha, happiness and sadness. Sukha, the word may not directly only mean happiness. It can also be, all the good things that are happening to you, or Sukha, that is Manasika Sukha, Paritrika Sukha. So all those Sukha kinds which I explained in the first chapter. So all those things include Sukha. Sukha also means you are at a place of goodness. You are at a all those things. It's not just, it's the literal translation is happiness, but it is not really just happiness. It encompasses a lot of things, and it's just, so one word in Sanskrit can mean a lot of other things also, right? We cannot literally translate for words directly. So Sukha and Dukha means happiness and sadness, though it has a bigger meaning. Bala and Abala, strength and weakness. Vrishada and Klebada, ability to reproduce, is called Vrishada. Vrisha itself means ability to reproduce, your sexual strength. And infertility, the inability to do that. Jnanam, Ajnanam, that means knowledge and ignorance. Jividam, na Jividam, that means life and death. All these depend on the quality of sleep. If you have good quality of sleep, you will have all the good things. Bad sleep destroys health. Akala Nidra. Kala means time. Akala means improper time. Akala Nidra, sleeping at improper time. Adiprasanga, that means excess sleep. Na Nidra, that means no sleep. These are all considered bad sleep, or dushta sleep we call it, which is sleeping at improper time, excess sleep, no sleep. This can destroy your health. Effects of improper sleep. So if you are awake in the night, like Ratri Jagarana, if you are awake in the night, causes Rukshata. It is a Vata increasing procedure, which is called Rukshata. Ruksha, the word means dryness. It creates dryness in the body. At the same time, the opposite of it, Diva Swapna, sleeping during the day, is a kapha increasing process. That's why, we say obese people who want to lose weight should never sleep during the day, because that will increase the kapha in your body. While sleeping in, like staying awake in the night, increases vata in your body and creates more rukshata in your body, or dryness in your body. Sleeping during the day increases the unctuousness of your body, or the snigdhata in your body. And taking a nap sitting, which Ayurveda says, which is quite, I don't know how, like it's something which even I can't understand why Ayurveda says that. Like taking a nap and sitting does not cause both. It's fine. So that's about the effects of improper sleep. Daytime napping. Daytime napping is good in summers because vata increases, dryness is more, days are shorter. So it is good that you do something which increases your kapha during summer months, right? So it's very good to sleep during summers, but again, be very careful if you have a high kapha in your body. Other seasons, if you sleep during the day, increases kapha and also pitta in other seasons. Who can sleep during the day? One who is exhausted due to the following can sleep during the day. Somebody who speaks a lot, like excessive speaking, like for me, like my bread and butter is speaking, right? So I am somebody who excessively sleeps. So I have this privilege of sleeping during the day, which I don't do. So excessive speaking, somebody who drives a lot or rides a lot, in the olden times, there was no driving, but there was riding, like horse riding and stuff. So riding is a word which is mentioned, but driving, we can take it in the modern context. Somebody who walks a lot, somebody has consumed alcohol can sleep during the day. Somebody who has done sexual intercourse can sleep during the day. Carrying heavy objects, physical activity, tired by anger, grief, fear. So all these emotional stress, if there is for somebody, we tell them to sleep. Actually, telling them to see, when we talk about so manasika chikitsa or manasika rogas or mental health diseases, is a huge wing in Ayurveda. So when we study Ayurveda, we have a 1 year subject which is only about mental health and the diseases and the treatment and everything. And we had posting in Ayurvedic mental health hospitals to spend time with people with psychosis, neurosis, all those conditions, and understand from them how are their symptoms and everything. So at that point in time, I remember doctors telling them to sleep during the day, because it is mentioned in Ayurveda. Because if you have anger, fear, and you're a lot of emotional distress, then it is fine to sleep during the day. Uh, yes, so that's about. And more people who can sleep during the day are people who are old, old age people. Children can sleep during the day. These days, a lot of moms don't allow kids to sleep during the day because their night will get affected. If she sleeps during the day, she will not be able to sleep during the night. So this is one of the I think one of my students only recently had a consultation with me here from this course. She came with her. She said about the daughter who is not sleeping well in the night. But not letting her sleep during the day is not the right thing to do. If it's a kid, she has all the right to sleep during the day. Okay. I never tell children to not sleep during the day. Sleeping during the day is actually a good thing to do for children. Debilitated and emaciated people can sleep during the day. Assaulted can sleep during the day. One who is habituated to day sleep can also sleep during the day. Those suffering from, however, even if you're habituated to day sleep, it's a good thing to reduce it. If you are, if you're in a stage like maybe 50s or 60s with diabetes, heart disease, and all those conditions, taking BP medications, all those things, don't ever sleep during the day. Those suffering from hiccup, asthma, diarrhea, injury, excessive thirst, abdominal pain, indigestion, all these conditions, don't you can sleep during the day. In these conditions, what actually happens is sleeping during the day maintains the normalcy of the tissues, and kapha nourishes the body. Now, who should not sleep during the day is one who is obese, somebody who has kapha and medas in their body. So, what is medas? Medas is fat tissue. And one who takes oily food regularly should not sleep during the day, because this person may have a little bit of kapha accumulation in their body. Now, who should not sleep during the night even? This does not mean that you should not sleep. This is specific disease condition where you're not allowed to sleep. One is poisoning. Poisoning, in case of poisoning, what happens is, in when you have that pratnya or sapnya, we say, when you have that consciousness, it can help you not to get, no, like if it can help you to prevent unconsciousness if you're not sleeping. If you sleep, then I'm talking about a condition where you have excessive poison in your body and you're in that critical condition. Okay. One who is suffering from poisoning is never allowed to sleep. Like, say, for example, in Visha, we have one whole like Ashtanga Hridayam, Ashtanga Ayurveda, right? Ayurveda has 8 wings. Out of this, one wing is only about Visha Chikitsa or poisoning. So in that poisoning, this thing, we study about this, that, somebody who has been bitten by a snake is not allowed to sleep, because when you sleep, that prajna or consciousness will go away and it can lead to death. Another thing is, one is Kantha Roga, throat disease where breath is obstructed. Even breath is a conscious process, even if it can be done unconsciously. Specifically, in specific Kantha Roga, that means a specific throat disease is mentioned here where your breath is obstructed, you cannot sleep. in the night, because if again consciousness is required. Now, sleeping, effect of sleeping at improper times, akala nidra. So akala nidra is sleeping at improper times, and what happens is it causes these conditions: delusion, fever, lassitude. Lassitude means laziness, nasal catarrh like rhinitis, headache, dropsy. Dropsy means excessive urination, oppression in the chest, obstruction of pores of tissues, weakness of Agni. All these conditions can be caused if you sleep at improper timings. What is a treatment if you sleep at improper timing is akala nidra. You're not able to sleep properly on time. Then we give treatments like fasting, emesis or vamana. It's a panchakarma procedure, sedation, or uh, like giving a sweating sedation treatment, which is called svedana according to Ayurveda, and nasya. So these are a few treatments that we give for akala nidra or sleeping untimely. Okay, just give me a second. I'll just plug in the charger. Okay. Treatment for excess sleep. Somebody is sleeping excessively. What is the treatment? So that's also a condition, a disease. So you may feel that sleeping excessively does not have any problem, but when you sleep excess, what happens? We said, right, whenever sleeping in the night, the rupshata of the body increases. So what happens is kapha gets decreased, leading to loss of sleep. Strong emetics, collyrium, nasya, fasting, worry, grief, fear, anger, sexual intercourse. These are the treatment for excessive sleep. Now, effect of loss of sleep. Nidra nasham. Okay, nasham means destruction. Nidra means sleep. So what happens when you have loss of sleep? Squeezing pain, say loss of sleep means you're not able to sleep at all. Squeezing pain in body parts, heaviness of the head, yawning and lassitude or laziness, exhaustion even without straining much, giddiness, indigestion, stupor, that means falling unconscious, diseases of vata origin. All these can be caused when there is a loss of sleep. So even loss of sleep, these days sleep is given so much of importance in modern times, so much of research. Everybody is talking about sleep. Uh, but see, Ayurveda had talked everything about sleep 5,000 years ago. It considers it as one of the most important three pillars of life. So sleep is, even today, people do not really take care if they're not able to sleep well. I myself, if you ask me, I sleep very well. No, I don't sleep. I wake up every day in the morning, but I find it like every day I'll have some work or the other which I have to finish in the night, or some excuse or the other for not sleeping on time. But really, I'm also working on these days. It's a sleep deprived generation, especially my generation. We are all sleep deprived, and we have to get into the habit of sleeping early. Even Ayurveda mentions so much about sleep. We have spent the last 15 minutes. This is just Ashtanga Hridayam, and even Sushruta and Charaka, everybody has said volumes about sleep and how it is important, why it is important. So sleep should not be neglected. Even in kids, even in old age people, sleep has to be given extra importance, because it can cause a lot of diseases without you yourself knowing or realizing it. If you ask about the modern things, definitely there are a lot of things that work when you are sleeping. Like what works? So a lot of hormones work when you're sleeping. Like you have your anti-cancer hormone. What is your anti-cancer hormone? It is your melatonin. Melatonin works only when you sleep. Human growth hormone works when you sleep. There is your leptin and ghrelin. One is your satiety hormone, one is your hunger hormone. These work if you sleep well. So all these hormones, everything, and even your immunity is built when you're sleeping. So sleeping has a profound impact on your overall health and also your mental health. So sleep has to be very proper. So if you are not sleeping well, you have to work on your sleep. We learned last month what we should give, what we give for sleep. What do we give for sleep? Do you remember the kind of milk that you give for sleep? Buffalo milk. Yeah. Buffalo milk is given, is the treatment, is the medicine for people who don't sleep well. Okay, now coming to treatment of loss of sleep, Nidra Nasha. First thing, counseling, advising them to help to get into the habit of sleeping on time. That's it. The biggest advice. If one must stay awake in the night, he or she must skip breakfast and continue sleeping to compensate for loss of sleep. This is not in general cases for everybody. This is for people who have continued loss of sleep and it has reached a stage of a disease or it has started affecting their systems. Then he should do that. This is not for everybody. Now, coming to treatment of Manda Nidra. Manda is a word that we usually associate slowness. Manda means slow. It's usually associated with kapha. So Manda Nidra means less sleep. Manda, I'm not confusing you here with kapha. It has nothing to do with kapha, but I'm saying Manda Nidra means less sleep or slow sleep, or you're not able to sleep very much. Less sleep. Those suffering from very little sleep, okay, what they should have? They should have milk, they can have alcohol, meat soup, curd, oil massage, udvartana, bath, murtha karna akshitarpana. Murtha means applying oil. Some very cooling oils can be applied on the murtha means this area, the brekma, with it's a soft region. So when it is said that in Ayurveda, anything that you apply here directly has an action on the brain. So there are during for a lot of mental health conditions, lack of sleep, we give treatments like oils and churnas and powders to be applied here because it has direct action on the brain or quick action on the brain. So murtha, applying cooling oil always helps with sleeping better than a heating oil. So applying those treatments here, oil here in the murtha, karna means in your ears, akshi in your eyes, tarpana, that means holding oil in these areas. So the akshi tarpana is actually a treatment which we do in Ayurveda, but even if you can't, applying some oil in your eyes, ears, on your head before you go to bed is a good way to induce sleep. So these are your treatments for Manda Nidra or less sleep. How to get Sukha Nidra or good sleep. So comforting embrace of a wife will help you get Sukha Nidra. So sometimes Ayurveda is very funny. So just take it like that. Immersion in the feeling of satisfaction of having done good things. So just imagine this. These days, everybody talks about journaling and immersing yourself, doing a gratitude journal. So there are a lot of studies that happens these days. Even I have gone in depth about this sleep for one of the projects that I was doing previously, like 2 years back. And so there's a research that says that immersing yourself into three positive things every night before you go to bed has an immense effect on how you sleep and how you manage your stress also. Sleep and stress is always interrelated. When there is stress, you sleep less. When you have less sleep, you have more stress. So immersion, so what it says is immersing yourself in three positive things. Like you have to write gratitude journal with three things that helped you positively during that day. What it does is you immerse yourself in that positive experience again and you feel good about it before you go to bed. So it relaxes you. So the same thing is mentioned in Ayurveda, immersion in the feeling of satisfaction of having done good deeds, you know. um how how profound are these things, when I hear about these things which is said in Ayurveda, after reading it in, so maybe at the time when I studied, I may have read through it or forgotten about it. But then when I read modern statistics and research and studies, and see that, oh my god, this same thing is mentioned in Ayurveda too. At that time, I get that moment of of realization. Oh my god, Ayurveda is so much deeper than what we actually think of it. Yeah. And thinking of things which are comforting to the mind, instead of saying we think of things, we are asking people to write a journal, because even writing is much more. When you just read and understand something, even when you're studying, you read and listen. Instead of reading, you write and study it, it registers even further. So that happens when you journal. Maybe that's why it is said that thinking is a good thing, but writing is even better. And moderate sex, contentment and happiness. So contentment and happiness are interrelated. Only those who are contented can be that eternally happy. Contentment is feeling satisfied with what I have. This I realized the hard way, actually, in my personal life. I used to be that person who used to always feel I want happiness, but tomorrow, if this happens, then I'll be the happiest. Day after tomorrow, if that happens, if when this situation change, I'll be in that situation, I'll be happy. So this was my mindset. I was actually, my mind got programmed like that, that contentment was never there. I was always looking for the next big thing to do so that I'll be happy. So I'll work right now, I'll not be happy. I'll be working so hard for that, to achieve that. And when I achieve it, I will create something new to achieve. But I realize that I'm losing the effect and that happiness of that moment by dwelling in the future, because I'm always in the future. So this contentment and happiness started when I really getting in a little bit into spirituality and understanding more deeper into it. And these days I'm reading certain, like I'm attending some classes and reading certain books for for understanding it deeper. But but I'm right now like this. I have changed completely. Today, if you ask me at any given point of time, I'm happy. I'm not looking tomorrow, this will change and then I'll be happy. Everybody asks me how it is possible. Like even at this moment when I'm talking to you, I'm completely happy. I don't have any other thoughts. I don't have anything. Like being happy in that moment, and that having that contentment or satisfaction with whatever I have. I'm completely satisfied with whatever I have, whatever I've got, and touch wood, like all like that. Even I may not have certain things that other people may not, but I am fine. I'm happy. I'm contented with what I have. So this is a change of thinking which I developed in the past 2 years, maybe, and it has profoundly helped me. And even today, trivial things doesn't affect me. If you ask my team also, they say, doctor, this patient is saying like this, they happen. I'm like very chilled and I'm relaxed. And when I talk to the patient, everything is gone. So then my team asked me, how did you do this? We couldn't do this. So it is just a matter of, when you are actually happy, you make things, people around you also happy, and that is contagious, and that positivity is very contagious. So unless and until you are happy, you're not happy, you cannot make others around you happy, right? So at any given point of time, I don't take too much of stress. I'm happy. I don't know why I'm talking about all these things. So we are at contentment and happiness, and this is about getting sukha nidra or sukha nidra or good sleep. So try to keep a calm, happy mind to have good sleep. And stress and mental health issues, or these are all there is nothing like it's not treatable. It is you can't work on it, nothing like that. It is just a matter of taking that step, getting help and working on it. That's it.